Hello, folks, and welcome back to Starcraft. Let us continue. And this time, with a war story. This is the next campaign from Dudkey SC2. Or is it just Dudkey? I don't know. I misread Annihilation the whole way through. It's just Annihilation. I kept having campaign there, and that was pointless. But yes, a war story. It's by the same guy who did Annihilation. No connection to it, none whatsoever. I think he said there's even going to be a nod to it. It's complete own setting. Laser beams and Gatling guns. Un momento. Oh, skull. Thought I heard music. Created by Dudkey SC2. Planning Dudkey SC2, Alrak, Vengeful Strudel. I think Alrak was making his own custom map at some stage. Testers, Alrak, Vengeful Strudel, Vasanex, and Chicky Chick. Special thanks to Blizzard Entertainment, SC2 Mapsters, Starcraft Wiki, Jay Barino Plays, and Deltron Live. Custom assets by Vasanex. Jesus Christ. Dave Spector. I've seen his name before. It's been so long since I looked at custom campaigns, I can't quite remember. Tricondius. Hammer. Sir Alabast. Kazor. Mesomatic. Mesomatic? His name's somewhat familiar. Herodal. Ghost Nova. Other assets. Heroes of the Storm. That's fine. World of Warcraft. That's fine. Command and Conquer. I need a shot of alcohol. Music from the Deus Ex series. Okay. Red Dead Redemption. Okay. Hopefully the music's set up right and not forced on. Command and Conquer series again. I do want to get onto those games. 40k. Got copyright claims for some of those, but it'll be fine. Metagrid Solid. Okay, that better not be in my videos. I said fuck Konami a bit too much. Resident Evil series, that's fine. No, yeah. I thought that was, one of those was a movie. Assassin's Creed, yeah, that's fine. Die by the blade of the one you have to. Well, God of War, might be okay. Poetry, yeah, that's fine. I've started playing that. That'll be out in probably 2023. Going by backlog. Device assigned to war characters. Obtain all available points. Doing all that on here. Drop below 50% health on veteran or higher. Code all Ravagers in less than 15 minutes after acquiring your base on veteran or higher. Safety for all without losing a single mine housing on veteran or higher. And then engage and kill all the Ravagers Ultralisk in less than 14 seconds in the Tarsus mission. Nightmare difficulty. Oh yes, this is the custom campaign with the Ultralisk Maev. I would love to if someone could somehow mod in like a warden costume for it. Basically, to clarify, the Ultralisks have a burrow charge ability. Kind of blinky. So, and they modded in when it comes up, it sends out a ton of spines around itself or whatever. Maev has Fan of Blades. So it's close enough. Good enough for government work. So yeah, I just remember joking that it was altruistic my Av. Um, so yeah, would be funny to see someone like dolling up an, even if it was just art and rather than a model, just art. Hey. But if it was art rather than a model, which would be so much pain, in like a warden outfit, that would be hysterical. If I had money, I would commission it. I'm broke as shit. Like seriously, looking to the wrong guy if you're expecting money. Despite how much work I put into these, I do not get. I get piss all here. So there's like 6, 7 different factions. These are the Tarsus Brotherhood. They all have their own different shtick. There's Terran, Protoss, and Zerg, and there's like 3 different factions with their own different specialties, 3 of each or so. But sadly, there's no purifiers. They have found no way to justify purifiers being there. So sadly, there's no best zealots. The purifier zealots that self-res. Oh, that's beautiful. Metal, there's a guy napalm. So what the hell did I do wrong? Is it having it there? Should I have it in one less folder? What is it? Let me look it up here on my phone. War Story Starcraft. Okay, yeah, having the extra folder is wrong. Okay, is there a way to get this to open? Okay, this will have to do. Uno momento, folks. Technical difficulties. Hey, folks, and I'm back. Take a break from making maps and chat with Elsa. Who? I don't know. I also kept reading that as grenade launcher. It's fitting, I suppose. Hopefully it's gonna cooperate now, because it would be a pain in the arse if it didn't. Because there's this whole inter-map stuff. Oh, good. For microsegments, you may have access to hero units that are more powerful and lead a charge to avoid unwanted casualties. Apparently this is going to have less micro in it than the Annihilation did. Also, apparently I kind of screwed up with Annihilation. You know there's other bases around the map. When you take those out, the enemy loses power. The ship gets weaker. If I had taken them out, I would have had an easier time. Instead, you got the 6-hour wonder that was that finale episode. Again, feel free to just skip towards the end. I'm obsessive. I have to be like, here's everything. You know, just insert the video go Dan here saying everything. Because it's basically my subconscious. But I could have justified just cutting most of that out. Oy. Starcraft 2, a war story. Okay. Enemy AI handicap set to 90. I don't know what that means entirely. It's weaker, obviously, but I don't know how. In what sense? Enemy hero out of hero out of combat health regen increased by 50%. Hero in combat health regen increased by 25%. Enemy AI has minimal upgrade and ability usage. Enemy AI sends smaller attack waves. Many sections and map mechanics are altered or removed entirely. Okay. Hero out of combat regen is reduced by 12.5%. Hero cooldowns increased by 25%. Certain resources reduced by 15%. Enemies common upgrades and ability usage. Enemy sends bigger attack waves. Boss damage and health increased by 50%. Some sections and map mechanics are altered or removed entirely. And then I feel bad that not playing something with stuff removed, but I think Veteran's the best I can do. Nightmare sounds pretty fucking brutal. And I'm also getting weird palpitations. Planet Taurus, June 16th, 2531, 25 years after Amon's fall, far away from the Kapuru sector. Basically, the resource crisis forced them to send out, all the three factions send out colony ships. A Dudkey SC2 production. Created using the Starcraft 2 map editor. Special thanks to the Scorps, Blizzard Entertainment, for making the tools needed to make this project come to life, SC2 Mapster for years of help and support, my testers, Alarak, Vengeful Strudel, Vastan X, and Chicky Chick. Don't pretend I didn't notice you, Truck. Presenting StarCraft 2, A War Story. Sometimes I can't help but wonder if this is even worth it. God, the end of it, Annihilation. Conflict is all around us, and it has changed us. It's changed our behavior, the way we view each other. It's simply become routine for us. War has become the foundation of our everyday lives. It's how we function. It makes us who we are. The galaxy just hasn't been the same since Amon's fall back on Kapuru. In Kapuru, ruined cities, planets demolished, casualties in the billions, bigger destruction than I've ever heard of. Clipping a bit through the terrain there. And now, with the lack of resources to go around, the sector's quite frankly become a shithole ever since Amon was put down. Cheeky breaky. All of this resulted in mass exodus, where billions upon billions evacuated, either find complete peace and isolation from the chaos, or a way to assist in the crisis. Now, it's like we're back to square one. Peace here didn't last long. This sector has become nothing more than a game of catch. Faction endlessly vie for control in order to fulfill their needs. It results only in bloodbaths and more enemies than you can count. Let's keep the numbers low. Kinda makes you wonder if peace truly exists. May all just be an illusion. A vague image depicting the ideal and perfect life for the individual. I've heard many interpretations of what peace really is. Can't say I've seen anything close to that yet. There's always something to fight for. Always a reason to gauge upon one another. In never-ending combat. Don't expect a stable voice. It slides around too much. And where do I stand in all this? I'm just a man trying to do what he can to survive. Forced to do mercenary jobs to make a living for myself and my peers. It's by no means an easy life. But what the hell? It's the best option we got. We've been brought into this seemingly endless conflict as well. Not a lot to ask for it, or want to for that matter, but there's simply no alternative. People have lived their lives trying to define this so-called peace. We always end up disappointed. No matter where we go, it's always the same. Funny to think, we believe what we found, what we were looking for upon settling here. We're gonna get screwed over again. Ravagers. They're brutal, unrelenting assaults on our allied worlds. They've become a true plague, spreading with seemingly no way to stop them. Several worlds across the sector have requested our aid, and we barely have time to reach all the reports coming in. Okay, I'm going to... And now, with the recent arrival of the Forged Hand, heck, just feel the problems are only getting bigger and bigger. Group of Terrans who arrived here after Amon's fall, otherwise known as the New Dominion. Not so big they can believe they can handle anything you throw at them. And because of them, we've spent our entire lives on the run. That's about time we turn things around. Certainly not be running anymore. Yeah. Can you believe the Forged Hand has arrived on Taurus too? This guy's been showing up everywhere lately. I know, right? If the most Ravagers weren't enough. Was enough. Now we have these guys stepping up to the plate as well. We can handle them. Reports indicate they've only just started establishing their base of operations. Strike now, they won't stand a chance. Want you guys to remember that objective is not to eliminate Forged Hand first chance we get. Absolute first priority is getting rid of Ravagers. Only when the time is right will we handle Forged Hand. If we're lucky, we can get them to leave without much trouble. But I can't doubt that. Got that right. These guys aren't known to take no for an answer. If you ask me, it's not going to be easy. They favor like buildings and fortifications. True, that's exactly why I'm not expecting much, but those are the orders. In any case, we'll discuss things further once we meet up with the Colonel. I'd assume he would have a suggestion or two. For now, I just want to remind you guys about our goals here. Forged Hand has what is possibly the largest military in this sector. No way we can get rid of them with a simple snap of our fingers. We have to approach this problem carefully. Calculating ETA for the rendezvous to 10 minutes. Pack your things and get ready. Jeez. Well, at least you don't have to worry about burial here. The sand consumes all. I hate sand. It gets everywhere. It eats people. Cheeky way of blocking off that part of the map. I see your wiliness. Act 1. Emerging conflicts. Been talking too much. Alright, listen up everyone. Spread up into teams to secure as much ground as possible. Ravager's numbers are low, but may grow quickly. To prevent that from happening, best bet is to attack from all possible flanks. Predator head. Nice look. Though the team travels with me. Move out. Would you look at that? Looks like the Colonel found his way here after all. Good to see your crew made it, Sergeant Rourke. Perfect timing, Colonel. Was thinking you'd be running late. Nah, not me. We did have to get rid of a couple of loose cannons on the way, but we still managed to make it just in time. Loose cannons? You mean the Ravagers? No. Indeed, Sergeant. Although low in numbers, seen attacking small outposts about 2 clicks from here. Oh. Luckily, the colonists had already evacuated. Stationed a few of our units there for further security. Great. Faster we can get Taurus secured from the Ravagers, the better. Have all mission preparations been completed? Indeed. I suppose I should fill you in on what the situation is. Reports indicate about 70% of the Ravagers nest below the surface. The way to get down there is through the local mine system. How they've done it is yet unknown. Burrowed? Zerg are good at that. Now, with the Forged Hand, they've set up a base camp 3 clicks to the south, so expanding control of the surrounding areas. Or maybe how they've had so much of their guys underground. Do they pose any threat to us at all? Now, as far as we know, on the contrary, they're actively guiding our people away from where the Ravagers are. Seems they intend to help. That could easily turn bloody, though, that scene there. That's reassuring, at least. But no matter their intentions, them being here is going to be a problem for us. I take it our primary focus is on Ravagers, but we may need to address the Forged Hand before that. Their base is a good walking distance from here. Me and my team will head over there and convince them to leave. Then we can venture into the mines. Worth a shot, for sure. Six. Sergeant Rourke, sir. We're heading out. You about ready? 2 shields? Jeez. Yes, sir. We'll just help unloading the remaining supplies. Ready to move at your command. Good. I expect your full attention. I'm my first officer for no reason, you know. Throwing up a flag here, mate. Seems you have no use for me anymore. If you need any further guidance, just contact me. Get my codec. Colonel. Eh. Now, excuse me. I need to make sure the rest of our forces are distributed accordingly. I wish you luck, Sergeant. Appreciate it, Colonel. Hey folks, yeah, they had the CODEX sound from Medical Solid in this. It physically hurts. I wish I could turn that sound off in particular, but I don't know how. I'd have to edit the map and that tends to break it. Even if it's just turning a song from demand to play to, like, force. You can have a song set to a certain slider, or you can set it to forcibly turn a slider on, well, set to a certain slider, and to forcibly turn it to a certain volume and the like. Adjusting that at all breaks maps. So, I wouldn't know what to do to turn that off. I can tolerate the rest should be fine, but Konami, I wouldn't trust. Would not trust in the slightest. Never underestimate the pettiness of individuals or companies. You know? Never. Oh, I just have to edit it out manually every time it happens. Brother of the Taurus is a codec. Yeah, it's just this stuff. List of contactable characters? Necessary to the campaign's plot. Just more war. Oh, okay. The Brotherhood of Taurus is a mercenary group formed on the planet Taurus. The faction consists of parts of the millions of colonists and local militia groups that fled the Kabul sector in mid 2504 after they weren't given the help they needed to survive Zerg attacks on fringe worlds, despite extensive transmissions to the Dominion. With no way to get help and Zerg numbers growing across the sector, growing in number across the sector to get as many survivors as possible, set out to remain safe while the war raged. In 2508, 2 years after the end of the Second Great War, colonists had found and established themselves a new home, and the Deirot quadrant, spreading out and terraforming its many uninhabitable worlds. By the year 2510, civilians of Taurus formed the now well-known mercenary group, the Brotherhood of Taurus, in an attempt to provide food and shelter for the many poor people among them, and to help establish a sense of security within the quadrant. The Brotherhood of Taurus is among the biggest military forces created by the various colonist and militia groups. The general name given to the overall group, consisting of everyone who took part in the general name given to the overall group, consisting of everyone who took part in the Great Evacuation, is referred to as the United Brotherhood Forces. Taurus is a Terran world controlled by the United Brotherhood Forces that evacuated the Kapuru sector and serves as primary headquarters for the Brotherhood of Taurus. Taurus is the third of 11 colonies discovered and terraformed by the United Brotherhood Forces. It's home to around 20 million Terrans. It's one of the larger colonial worlds in the quadrant. Taurus was chosen as the Brotherhood's primary headquarters due to its central location relative to other colonial worlds. This allows for easier travel between planets and more efficient communication. Samuel Rourke is a combat veteran of the Brotherhood. Samuel Rourke is a combat veteran of the Brotherhood of Taurus and the the highest-ranking sergeant of the Brotherhood, assigned by Terence Crowder. Orphaned as a child on the planet Marsara, Rourke was, along with many workers, forced to work in the local mines in an excavation project orchestrated by the Kalmorian Combine. In 2504, the Zerg first attacked Marsara during the first phase of the Second Great War. Rourke's hometown, a small town known as Vergodian, was brutally assaulted. Inhabitants evacuated the town while waiting for Dominion forces to control the threat. However, Dominion never arrived, and more forces and regions slowly became uninhabitable due to the excessive infestation. Townspeople were left with little hope for survival. After several days of rioting and struggling streets, it revealed that Dominion never intended to help the people of Malsara, but were instead stationed in their main base of operations, assessing the level of threat and retrieving some important documents before leaving the planet to the Zerg. This action heavily angered Rourke, and with a handful of local militia groups left on the planet, townspeople now spent weeks in the run and in poverty, and eventually rescued by Dominion colony ships led by Elena Haley during the start of the Great Evacuation. After years of searching, the carriers eventually found their way to the Deirot quadrant, where Rourke spent most of his early years in military training. He quickly rose in ranks and has stated that his deep hatred of Dominion motivates him to get stronger, which proves that he's not just an expendable pawn. Jarvan Siggs is second in command of Rourke's team, and sort of a friend of Rourke. Siggs grew up in the small town of Vegodian on Marsara, just like Rourke. His parents were veteran fighters and served as part of the militia on the planet. During the Zerg infestation of the planet in 25... His parents were veteran fighters and served as part of the militia on the planet. During the Zerg invasion of the planet in 2504, first phase of the Second Great War, Sig's parents were fighting in the front lines to protect the town. His father ordered a group of soldiers to take Sigs away to safety while they fought against the oncoming adversaries. For witnessing strength and relentless nature of the advancing Zerg forces, local militia had issues handling the growing threat and were forced back. After the majority of Dominion forces departed the planet, the Zerg attacks quickly began getting out of hand, and Siggs was unfortunate to witness his mother and father be torn to shreds. During the following weeks, Sig's life was broken. During their constant relocation, attempted surviving these difficult times, up until being rescued by Dominion colony ships. Wait. The Dominion... 2504... Uh, yeah, that's the start of Starcraft 2. Just when the Zerg first attacked Marsara, I was thrown by that, but that's just me, probably just me misreading it. Um, or mistaken it. Um, Sorry, I was like, Dominion was around then. Uh, Siggs found everlasting support from Rourke, who did his best he could to help Siggs cope with the loss of his family. It is because of the many years of support and help during training that Siggs shows a high level of respect towards Rourke. Friendship's primary reason why he's been chosen by Rourke, specifically as first officer, in any of Rourke's operations. Nepotism. Please. That's cute. Thankfully, they didn't play the sound constantly throughout it. Honestly, what are the 4chan even doing here? I missed. Oh, apologies. This isn't even just Thesaurus. These past few months, they've been showing up just about everywhere, marking their territory like a bunch of stray dogs. It's gone too far. Who knows? Remember, these are ex-Dominion forces, an expedition from the Kapuru sector, the biggest military in the quadrant. They've been through much more than you could imagine. Contrary to us, having to flee during most of the Second Great War, they did just the they just did the exact opposite, fighting. Biggest military net look at how much they lost during the war. Wow, and in the end they still won. Yeah, with the help of both the Protoss and the Zerg. I think I made my point. It was more the effort of a united force that did the job, not the Dominion itself. They sure know a lot. True, but the fact still stands. Attempting to best them will be suicide. May have more overall people, but 4chan have a stronger military. Our mission is contained Ravager threat, with an emphasis on the word threat. 4chan may not be particularly welcome here, but they are not a threat to us. Keep your finger off the trigger if the enemy's not Zerg. Yeah, I'd be lying if I told you I wasn't tempted to fire round the two at those backstabbing bastards every once in a while. Past experiences may make us natural enemies, but no matter the case, it's impossible to win against them in our current state. I want you to think on this before you act, Rourke. With possibly the strongest combat force in Quadrant, what chance could we possibly have against them? That's a fair point, I suppose. Just try to relax. Let's focus on reaching their base first of all. Who knows? Maybe they'll cooperate. Yeah, in your dreams. They aren't the type to back out of an assignment. You know this is true, Colonel. Perhaps. We won't know what happens until we try it, right? Calm down, Rourke. We've got this handled. If 4chan decides not to cooperate, we'll figure something out. Move out. We can discuss this further once we actually speak with them. Roger. Roger that. Sergeant for this mission has been assigned as commander of a small squad. I've taken the liberty of bringing First Officer Siggs with you on the trip, as I know how much his involvement. Take command of the squad and lead them to the 4chan base and report back any information acquired. I think there was a typo there. I'm sorry, I'm spot the mistake. Commandos. Command and Conquer voices.
Not much time left for preparation.
His attack damage increases and takes reduced damage for each friendly unit around him. Inspire. Non-heroic units, so not himself or Rourke, increase their attack speed by 40% and cause them to heal 3 life per second. Store up to 3 charges, last 12 seconds.
Greetings. It is an honor. It is good to see you, friend. What? I dislike waiting. You kids these days. Be silent. Try to remember who your enemy is, filth.
I like his voice.
When I'm out there defending, I can't be battling with hunger as well. That's why I start every day with a big bowl of meaties, the breakfast of champions. I'm ready to move. Are you ready? You had best be prepared.
Ah, that's funny. I like his voice. Increased aggression. Each attack increases Rourke's attack speed by 5%, stacking up to 150% for 20 seconds. Anger management. Full stacks of that and 5 attack damage for 8 seconds. Upon expiration, it becomes exhausted and moves 50% slower for 8 seconds, using all stacks of increasing aggression, preventing him from gaining any stacks to the effect.
Let us focus on the fight ahead. What?
Finally, an ally I can put my faith in. This battle is far from over. I am with you until the end. It is an honor to be your ally.
It is an honor. Of course. You had best be prepared. Interesting.
I can only hope that there's
So be
the voice lines have none from Konami. Oof.
Let's move. Clever. Our paths converge. This way. Ha, a clever move. Whatever. We work well together.
Uno momento. Hey folks in the back, 38, 39, 40. And I'm getting great FPS on this. It dropped a little because I'm recording now, but yeah, I was having over 200 on this blank screen.
I see.
Ridiculous.
Will suffice.
Ravagers, gun them down, man. I got a min-max survival. Should have saved. Thinking I should save, and I didn't. Just need to wait. Yep. Kinda need to wait for the cutscene to click in, and then you can skip. See?
It is an honor.
Yeah. It's bing 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 bing. It happened again. Du-du-du-du. Colonel. You called for me, Sergeant?
What? Ha, a clever move. Clever. This way. Very well. A wise choice. I'm ready to move. I see.
Glad to see you on my side. United, we can never be defeated.
Ooh, it's just a targeted one. Not all.
More to be done.
Still worked out there. And they all got stim packs with no health reduction. Ooh, nice.
Fight ahead. Be careful. Our paths. Are you ready?
I wish they had like Warcraft 3 like formations and shit.
It is good to see you.
Move at the speed of the slowest unit and all that.
Handle it from here. Agreed.
Huh.
Of course.
Sergeant Rourke, sir.
This will suffice.
How are you boys holding up? Much better, now the backup's arrived. Listen, this isn't the only outpost that's suffering. Well, I hear several outposts in the region have reported sightings of Ravagers. I'm sure people stationed at those locations would appreciate your help too. We'll see what we can do. We get these civilians to a safe place. It's better you stay low somewhere else.
You had best be prepared.
Roger that, Sergeant Rourke, sir.